Hey there, interwebs, and welcome back to How Fascinating. Hands up if you've ever heard the phrase to be under someone's aegis. Keep your hands up if you can say definitively what an aegis is. Due to the limitations of the medium, I have no idea what you're doing, but if your hand's still up in the air, you're a liar. The truth is, no one knows for sure what the aegis was exactly. Sometimes it's a cuirass, sometimes it's a kind of cloak called a chlamys, and sometimes it's a shield. All we know is that it was some sort of protective device used by Athena and Zeus, but is more closely associated with the former than the latter. She takes it into battle in the Iliad, where it is described as having 100 golden tassels and producing a sound like 10,000 roaring dragons. As I mentioned in the Greek mythology video, Athena mounted Medusa's severed head on it, and I've already covered Medusa's appearance on shields in a different video, so there may be a connection there. That being said, we have depictions of Athena sporting Medusa's head on both her shield as well as on her breastplate. Alexander the Great is also seen wearing a Gorgonian-adorned cuirass assumed to be the aegis in this mosaic. Classy, man. Up north, there's a symbol that looks like this, and it's called the Aegis-Hjálmur. Hjálmur means helm, and you may say the first half looks like aegis. That's what I thought, but it turns out the full name means helm of awe, and the etymologies are completely unrelated. Bummer. On the subject of protective devices associated with Athena, because that's not an overly specific category, let's take a look now at Palladia. To start off, there's Palladium, Palladian, and Palladion, and they've all got bugger all to do with paladins, much to the disappointment of my 7th level Aasimar with golden hair, eyes of flame, and wings of driven snow. A Palladium or Palladion is something which provides safety or protection, especially to an entire group of people and in a supernatural way like a religious relic, sacred icon, or other object of antiquity on which the safety of a state depends. For those of you who haven't memorized the names of all the chemical elements set to a possibly recognizable tune, there's also an element called palladium. The adjective relating to it is not, as I had once assumed, Palladian, but rather Palladic or Palladus. That's not to say Palladian isn't a word, though, because it is. It refers to the architectural style originating from the designs of the 16th century Venetian architect Andrea Palladio, but that's neither here nor there. Where did palladium get its name, I hear you cry? The metal was discovered by William Hyde Wollaston in July of 1802, and he decided to name it after 2 Pallas, an asteroid that had been discovered just 2 months prior, and which was itself named after Pallas Athena. Who or what is Pallas Athena? I'm so glad you asked, I'm going to pretend that you did, even if you didn't. Athena is, well, Athena, and Pallas is her usual epithet. It may come from Paline, meaning to brandish a spear or other weapon, or it may come from Pallakis, meaning youth or maiden. The latter is more likely, but as time went on, people invented other stories to explain where it came from. In more than one of these backstories, she killed someone named Pallas. Now, Pallas was kind of the John Smith of its day, with lots of people sporting it on their driver's licenses. Pallas was a giant, which is distinct from a titan, and there was one of those named Pallas as well, and the two are frequently confused. There's also Pallas, son of Lycaon, who was Athena's teacher, Pallas, the son of Pandion, Pallas, the son of Evander, Pallas, the father of Euryalus and Diomede, and Pallas, the daughter of Triton, and she's the one we're interested in. She was a childhood friend of Athena, right up until Athena accidentally killed her in a sparring match. The goddess then adopted her slain friend's name in mourning. An alternate story tells us Athena killed the giant named Pallas during the Gigantomachy, then flayed him and wore his skin as a cloak. Or maybe she used it as a shield. Again, details are fuzzy. Yet another variation of the myth says Pallas was Athena's father who tried to force himself on her, and the ending is the same. I have no idea where this one came from, because there's no debate that Athena's father was Zeus, not this Pallas schmuck. If we go with the childhood friend explanation, Athena's grief doesn't end with the name change. She also carved a wooden statue of her friend, and it was delivered to the city of Troy, where it granted the city divine protection. This was the original Palladium. So we've got the Palladium or Palladion, which is a protective object named after a statue named after Athena's late bestie, and Palladium, an element named after an asteroid named after Athena herself, named after her late bestie. Marvel, again, at the interconnectedness of all things. Thanks for watching, and have a fascinating day.